So Anthony says to me, Jeremy, I have this $5 million producer coming in. He's on this team he really likes. I know the team, it's legit. We're gonna talk to him. I said, you gotta future pace a guy like that. So I had a team, did 175, 200 transactions. Every guy left my team. Every single person left them. I built them and they left. One of the reasons they left is they realized they were all leaders and they could run it on their own instead of being on a team selling. So I'll show you an example. Future pace him. If he's a $5 million producer, he's probably at 50%. 5 million times 3% is 150K. He'd probably keep 50%, which is 75K, the agent. If he's at Keller Williams, he would gross 150, pay us 25, he'd net ballpark 125. He's losing 50K a year by being on that team. So that's $4,000 a month he pays to be on that team. Now, here's the key. You have to tell him that. Do you realize that you're paying that team $4K a month by being on their team? What would you do with that $4K? Hold on. Let's talk about the future with you. Call him Bob. A $10 million producer. You're going to be a $10 million producer, aren't you? Yes. All right, we have these examples quickly that did it. You have the same talent level. 50%. 300K is your gross commissions. You keep 50%, that's 150K. Keller Williams, 300K gross commissions minus the 25,000. You would net 275. Do you realize you just paid that team $125,000 by being on their team? Are you aware that you pay them $10,000 a month being on their team? Are you telling me that you couldn't go do that on your own? How about this? How about if you just simply went and that 10K, the 120K that you paid them extra, you bought 2 houses. You could maybe buy 3. I look at every 50K as a house. Here's how you figure it out. If you're buying a property and you can go to a bank and put 20% down, and then the rehab costs, you can get it funded. So basically 50K equals a house. How would you say it to someone? All right, $200,000 house, 20% is 40,000 plus closing costs is 50,000 bucks. Are you aware that every year you work on that team, you could have bought 2 houses, and when you retire, each one of those houses is worth 500K and $3,000 a month rent. $20 million, 60%, they'll probably pay you, maybe 70. 600,000 gross commissions. You're gonna net 360 because you're split, 600K, 60%, somewhere in that range. KW, you would net 575. So you're basically losing almost $200,000, over $200,000 by being on that team. Is it worth $20,000 a month to be on that team to you? Are you aware on that $200,000 you could buy 4 houses? In 1 year, in 20 years, 1 year, that's $2 million in 20 years. Do that for 10 times. I just showed you put $20 million in your bank account. Let me ask you a question. Has anybody here showed you wealth building that quick in 10 minutes? No, you're there to build their brand. I want to build you, and I just showed you how to retire with $20 million. Any other questions?
I'm going to ask you a great question that they'll probably get. Hey, Jeremy, they provide me a lot of leads to hit those numbers.
Yep. So great question. So let me ask you a question. Are you telling me that you can't get those leads that they have? Leads are everywhere. You have 2 options. 1, you can take their leads from their center of influence, or 2, you can get cold leads from them. How about this? Why don't you just get leads from your center of influence and make a lot more money off them? Are you aware that most likely you're going to have to sell 2 houses for every 1 house that you found at your center of influence? Why? You have to pay them. It's the same reason why my wife never takes leads from anybody. She could sell 1 house where somewhere else she had to sell 2. I showed a guy the other day that he could sell, he's on a team, very similar situation. He could actually sell less houses with us and make more money. He was blown away. He did $10 million his first year. I told him he'd have to do about $6 million, $7 million with us. We figured out his transaction time. He's like, holy crap, I have to sell less. I'm like, yeah, you're just building theirs. Number 2 is focus on your own leads. I can help you clean your database lists out of Facebook. I can help you get email addresses. I can help you get your contact information. I can help you get cell phone numbers. I'm building a company to do that. You want to test it right now? Pay it. You can do it. Focus on you. You can make more money. Question I'd ask yourself is this. When I was a kid, they offered me $4.25 to wash and wax cars. I did it. Then I realized I could charge $25 to clean a car and do it in 2 hours. I was making $12.25, $12.50 an hour. I had to work 1 hour at the one job and 3 hours at the other job. Why the heck would I work 3 hours at that job to work the same hour? One reason. Maybe I couldn't gross produce as many hours, as many income, because maybe I didn't have enough cars to clean at $25 an hour. Well, I figured it out. I created a bike repair company. Bottom line is this. I figured out how to work 4 hours in a day when everybody else was working 12 hours. It's the same thing here. These people are overworking because they're paying too much money to the team where they could just be doing it on their own. And most of the time you look at it, they can actually sell less houses and make more money.